Welcome to our channel. Hidden in plain sight, these state quarters have become some of the rarest and most valuable treasures in the numismatic world. Make sure to watch till the end, you won't want to miss the incredible stories and surprising values behind these amazing coins. Ever picked up a quarter and wondered if it was just ordinary pocket change, or something more? Stick with me, because what you're about to hear might change the way you look at coins forever. This is the story of the 2001 Vermont State Quarter, a small coin with a surprisingly big secret. Back in the early 2000s, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, a project that turned coin collecting into a national obsession. For the first time, everyday Americans found themselves eagerly hunting for quarters that celebrated their home states. Each design was carefully crafted to tell a story of history, culture, and identity. Vermont, known as the Green Mountain State, was next in line in 2001, and the choice of design was anything but random. The Vermont Arts Council and Governor Howard Dean invited residents to share their ideas, sparking a wave of excitement across the state. People submitted hundreds of designs, some honoring Vermont's revolutionary history, others its famous ski slopes, and still others showcasing the beauty of its forests and mountains. But after months of consideration, one design stood out above the rest, one that captured the very soul of Vermont. Picture this: a man harvesting sap from maple trees, buckets hanging quietly on each trunk, with the rugged silhouette of Camel's Hump Mountain rising in the background. It's a simple scene, yet packed with meaning. Vermont isn't just about scenic beauty, it's about hard work, tradition, and the sweet reward of maple syrup, a product synonymous with the state. This image perfectly captures a seasonal ritual that brings communities together every spring and reminds us of the deep connection between people and nature. Beneath this serene image, the state motto reads, "Freedom and Unity," a phrase that speaks to Vermont's unique blend of fierce independence and close community bonds. It's a reminder that strength comes not just from standing alone, but from standing together. Millions of these quarters were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but our focus is on the Denver version, the 2001 Vermont Quarter. With over 459 million struck, you'd think these coins are everywhere, and most are. They've been used, passed around, tucked into jars, lost under couch cushions, and jingled in countless pockets. Over time, wear and tear have dulled their shine and softened their details, but here's where things get truly fascinating. A very small number of these quarters were preserved in near-perfect condition. Uncirculated. Flawless. So well kept that when examined by coin grading experts, they receive scores like MS68 or MS69, almost perfect, near mint state. And here's the twist that surprises even seasoned collectors: some of these near-perfect 2001 Vermont quarters have sold for as much as $53,000. Yes, you heard that right. $53,000 for a coin that usually spends its life jingling in your pocket or rolling around in a vending machine. So what makes this coin so valuable? It's a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and collector demand. Millions were made, but the vast majority show signs of wear. Those that escape the grind of everyday use are incredibly rare. Add to that the coin's beautiful design and the deep cultural significance it holds, and you've got a true collector's gem. But it's not just about the money. This quarter is a little piece of Vermont's story, its landscape, its people, and its enduring traditions, captured in metal and history. It's a reminder that history lives in the smallest of things, waiting to be discovered. There's something magical about holding a coin like this in your hand. It's a connection to the past, to the people who lived and worked long before us. The man on the coin isn't just harvesting sap, he's harvesting a piece of Vermont's identity. The maple trees whisper stories of generations. Camel's Hump stands as a silent witness to all of it. The beauty of this quarter, and of coin collecting in general, is that anyone can join the hunt. You don't need to be a professional or have a huge budget. Sometimes, treasure hides in the most unexpected places, in loose change, old collections, or forgotten drawers, and it's not just the big, rare finds that matter. Every coin has a story. Every scratch tells a tale of a journey it's been on. Collecting is about connecting with history, with the hands that touched these coins before us, with the moments they've witnessed. So next time you get a handful of change, take a moment to look closer. Flip over those quarters. Check for the mint mark. Look for the details, the trees, the mountain, the buckets. You might just be holding a tiny piece of history, or maybe even a hidden treasure. Imagine the journey of this quarter, from the minting presses deep underground to the pockets of countless Americans, traveling through time and places, finally landing in your hand. Each scratch, each gleam, tells a story of a moment in America's rich tapestry. Could the next coin you find be more than just a quarter? Maybe. And that's the magic of collecting, finding value and stories where others might only see silver. Next up we have an intriguing piece from the series that celebrated America's diverse heritage, the 2005 state quarter from Oregon, minted at Philadelphia, known by the small yet powerful Pete mint mark. Now, on the surface, this might just look like any other coin from your change jar, but don't be fooled. What lies behind this ordinary facade is a story layered in artistry, state pride, precision minting, and yes, a value that will leave you stunned. Let's start by taking a step back, to the roots of this coin, and the state it represents. Oregon, nestled in the Pacific Northwest, is a state of untamed beauty. Towering forests, sparkling rivers, volcanic mountains. From the crashing Pacific coastline to the shadowy depths of Crater Lake, Oregon's landscape has inspired artists, adventurers, and now, numismatists. So when it came time to choose a design for its official state quarter, the pressure was on to represent all that natural grandeur in a coin barely an inch wide. In 2005, as part of the 50 State Quarters program, Oregon unveiled a design that truly captured its essence. Engraved on the reverse of the quarter is a serene view of Crater Lake National Park, the deepest lake in the United States and one of the most pristine bodies of water on Earth. Surrounding the lake are the jagged peaks of the Cascade Range, and to complete the picture, tall pine trees frame the foreground, giving the design depth and character. Crater Lake isn't just a scenic spot, it's a symbol of geological history, Native American heritage, and environmental preservation. Created over 7,000 years ago by the collapse of Mount Mazama, the lake today remains a spiritual and cultural landmark. So when you hold this coin, you're holding a miniature tribute to that natural wonder. But let's not overlook the obverse, the front of the coin, which features the familiar profile of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. This element has remained consistent across all state quarters, offering a sense of unity across the series, while the reverse side showcases each state's individuality. Now, let's talk numbers, minting numbers. To be exact, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 316 million Oregon quarters in 2005. That's a huge number, and at first glance, you'd think that means the coin is common. But here's where things take a turn. Of those millions, only a minuscule fraction possess the qualities that drive collectors wild: flawless surfaces, sharp details, and untouched brilliance. These are the coins that never saw the inside of a cash register. They were never flipped on countertops or slid into vending machines. They were preserved, protected, and in very rare cases, struck in ways that make them almost one of a kind. A perfect coin is hard to find. Even right out of the mint, coins can have imperfections, tiny scratches, weak strikes, slight blemishes. But every once in a while, a few coins come off the press in near-perfect condition. These are graded professionally by third-party services such as PCGS or NGC, using the Sheldon scale. A grade of MS69 means the coin is nearly flawless under magnification. MS70. That's perfection. These are the grades that serious collectors chase, and they don't come around often, especially not for quarters meant for circulation. And here's another twist. The most valuable examples of the 2005 Oregon quarter aren't just in pristine condition, some of them also feature subtle die variations or error characteristics. These anomalies might include double die features, slightly rotated dies, or coins struck on experimental planchets. To a casual eye, they look normal. But to a trained numismatist, they scream rarity. So what happens when you take a beautifully designed coin, combine it with an iconic natural landmark, produce it in limited perfect condition, and add a dash of minting mystery? You get a treasure. This specific coin, the 2005 state quarter from Oregon, struck in Philadelphia and graded at the highest levels with potential distinguishing features, has reached unbelievable heights in the collector market. But before we reveal the final number, let's quickly explore what drives collectors toward coins like this. Part of it is nostalgia. The state quarters program was a turning point, a moment when coins became stories, when people paid attention to the change in their pockets for more than just spending power. Every quarter was a gateway into geography, culture, and heritage. Oregon's quarter, with its elegant, peaceful design, stood out even then, and then there's the thrill of the hunt. Coin collecting is part history, part detective work, and part investment. You're searching through rolls, watching auctions, flipping through catalogs, always looking for that one piece, that one coin, that others missed. When news of a high-value sale hits the coin community, it's like a lightning bolt. Suddenly, interest in that coin spikes. Collectors race to inspect their collections, hoping they might own a piece of that lightning. And this Oregon quarter? It has definitely made headlines, the rarity. The demand. The certified perfection. All of that has led to this stunning moment, the highest recorded sale for a 2005 Oregon quarter, in pristine mint state, with impeccable details and desirable characteristics, reached a jaw-dropping $47,000. That's right. A quarter with a face value of just 25 cents, transformed by rarity and condition into a numismatic gem worth nearly 50 grand. So what does that mean for you? Well, if you've got a collection, or a stash of quarters you haven't checked in years, now might be the time to take a closer look. Who knows? The next treasure might already be in your hands. Stay with us, we've got even more coins to reveal, and some of them might just be worth far more than you think. Next rare quarter brings us to a coin that doesn't just represent a state, it marks the closing chapter in a 10-year journey through American history. Imagine holding the final piece in a massive mosaic, one that brought together all 50 states through the stories engraved on tiny pieces of metal. And now, here it is, the Hawaii State Quarter, released in 2008, minted in Philadelphia, and carrying with it far more than face value. At a glance, it's stunning. But beneath the beauty lies something deeper. This coin isn't just a commemorative design, it's the final step in one of the U.S. Mint's most ambitious projects. The entire 50-state quarters program led up to this exact piece. And that gives it a kind of power. The Hawaii quarter features the image of King Kamehameha I, the leader who unified the Hawaiian Islands into a single kingdom in the early 1800s. With one arm outstretched toward the 8 major islands beside him, the image conveys command, peace, and sovereignty. Surrounding him is Hawaii's state motto, Ue mau ko ia o ka ina I ka pono, which means, the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. This motto has been used in Hawaii since 1843, and its inclusion on the quarter gives it gravitas that resonates with anyone who knows Hawaii's history. There's also something poetic about Hawaii being the last state to enter the Union and the final coin to complete this collection. It carries a kind of punctuation mark, the kind that says, "We made it." That emotional weight, combined with the cultural depth, gives this coin a unique place in both numismatics and history. Now, just because over 250 million of these were minted at the Philadelphia Mint doesn't mean this coin is common in all forms. Most entered circulation, were jostled in pockets, nicked in drawers, lost under couch cushions. But a very small number remained pristine. These coins avoided the daily abuse of circulation. Some were pulled directly from fresh rolls, stored immediately, never handled. And those are the ones collectors dream of finding. The difference between a regular coin and a high-value one often comes down to condition. A near-perfect strike, brilliant uncirculated shine, and undisturbed surfaces make all the difference. These are the coins that earn the highest grades, MS-69, or the rarely achieved MS-70. And sometimes, there's more. A few quarters from this batch have surfaced with unusual features, minor misalignments, planchet errors, or even slight doubling in the lettering. Small, almost invisible to the untrained eye, but incredibly valuable when authenticated. These rare quirks push the value up even higher, especially when combined with pristine condition. So let's take a moment to imagine you're holding one of these. The surfaces gleam. The strike is full and sharp. The coin hasn't been touched by anything but air and gloves. You submit it to be graded, and it comes back, top tier, certified, verified. At that point, you're not holding a quarter, you're holding a high-stakes collectible. Something that sparks bidding wars at auctions. Something other collectors wish they'd found first, and that's exactly what happened. Collectors who understand the rarity of these flawless Hawaii quarters don't hesitate. When one surfaced in immaculate condition, with no blemishes, no scratches, no toning, it didn't just sell. It ignited a frenzy. Private collectors, dealers, and seasoned numismatists lined up, each hoping to secure the final piece of the series in the finest known condition. That there's something about this coin that just feels complete. It tells a story without needing words. It represents exploration, unity, the blending of cultures, the beauty of the islands, and the close of an era. You don't need to be a professional collector to feel that. You just need to look at it. It's no surprise, then, that this coin would become a centerpiece in elite collections. Not just because of its finish or grade, but because of everything it symbolizes. So now, we arrive at the part that turns heads. One of these rare 2008 Hawaii quarters, minted in Philadelphia, preserved in perfect condition, and backed by professional certification, reached the auction block. All eyes were on it. And when the final bid was cast, the room fell silent for a beat. The hammer came down at a stunning $40,000 for a coin that, to most people, looks like pocket change. But to the right buyer, it was a crown jewel. That's the magic of numismatics. History, condition, culture, and rarity collide, and suddenly, a 25-cent coin becomes priceless. Keep watching, there's still more in store, and always remember, not all treasures are buried. Some might just be sitting in your change jar, waiting to be noticed. Up next is a coin that doesn't just tell a story, it reenacts it. It throws you into the chaos of battle, wraps you in the urgency of a turning point in the American Revolution, and lets you hold a piece of that history in the palm of your hand. This is the 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter, minted at the Denver Mint, and believe me, it's no ordinary quarter. In fact, the more you learn about it, the more it becomes clear, this is a valuable quarter that could be worth thousands of dollars under the right conditions. Let's rewind history for a moment. It's 1776. The War for Independence has just begun. British naval forces have set their sights on Charleston, South Carolina. They expect a swift victory. But standing in their way is a palmetto log fort on Sullivan's Island, Fort Moultrie. What happens there becomes the stuff of legend. Amidst cannon blasts and chaos, a regimental flag falls. For many armies, that's a sign of surrender. But not here. One man refuses to let that symbol touch the ground. Sergeant William Jasper risks everything, sprints into enemy fire, retrieves the fallen flag, and plants it back atop the ramparts. It's a symbol of unyielding resolve, and it sparks a morale surge that helps American forces repel the attack. And now, fast forward over 2 centuries, and you'll find that same story forever captured on the back of a U.S. quarter. Part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the Fort Moultrie quarter was released in 2016 to commemorate the Fort Sumter National Monument in South Carolina. It's a tribute to the early days of American courage, and one of the most visually dynamic designs of the entire series. On the reverse side, you see Jasper in mid-motion, charging forward, regimental flag in hand, cannon fire blazing in the distance. His expression? Fierce. Focused. Determined. Every line in the design evokes movement. The folds of the flag, the stride in his step, the urgency in his pose, it all creates a living moment etched into metal. This isn't just a beautiful design. It's storytelling at its finest. The artistry and symbolism speak volumes, turning what could have been a passive image into a narrative of bravery, sacrifice, and patriotic fire. And then there's the D mint mark, a small letter, but a big deal. It identifies the coin as being minted in Denver. Millions were made there, yes. But remember, quantity doesn't equal accessibility when you're talking about numismatic value. Most were circulated. They rattled through cash registers, got scraped in pockets, and were tossed into piggy banks. The real gems? They're the ones that never saw that wear and tear. Coins preserved in pristine condition, often called uncirculated or mint state, are where true collector value begins to surface, and in the case of this Fort Moultrie quarter, those upper-grade examples, the ones graded MS-66, MS-67, or better, are where things start to get really exciting. It's these few flawless examples that rise above the rest. When a coin looks like it was just pressed yesterday, no scratches, no blemishes, no dullness, it becomes a standout in any collection. Grading services examine these pieces under magnification, inspecting every fine detail. For the Fort Moultrie quarter, the clarity of Jasper's uniform, the sharpness of the cannon, the depth in the flag's folds, all of these are scrutinized. And when they check every box, that's when the value climbs, but it's not just about the grade. There's another layer that adds fuel to the collector frenzy: minting errors. A small number of these quarters have been found with slight imperfections that occurred during production. These might include off-center strikes, die cracks, misaligned lettering, or even rare planchet issues. On their own, these quirks can make any coin more desirable. But combined with historical context and an already powerful design, they can push demand into overdrive. Collectors love these unexpected finds. They turn a known design into a one-of-a-kind discovery. And because of how rare mint errors are, especially ones in high grade, the value can be significant. It's not every day you come across a coin that's both beautiful and misprinted in just the right way to become a market gem. Now, here's something a lot of casual collectors miss. This quarter was issued relatively recently, just in 2016. So to many people, it feels too new to be considered rare. But that's exactly why it slips under the radar. The early years of a coin's life can be deceptive. It may seem common at first, but fast forward a decade or two, and suddenly, only a handful of those coins remain in perfect condition. Those who spotted the opportunity early, the ones who recognized the coin's potential, end up sitting on a treasure that others overlooked. Well, for the average circulated version of this quarter, the answer isn't going to shock you: it's still worth about 25 cents. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about those rare finds. The high-grade, uncirculated, sharp-detailed specimens. Or better yet, the coins with both perfect condition and a rare error. And those are commanding serious attention in collector circles. There have been sales. Quiet ones. Private ones. And when you look at the numbers involved, one thing becomes clear: this is a quarter that can be worth thousands of dollars. That's why you don't let this one pass you by. The next time you sort through your change, or flip through your coin album, keep an eye out for the 2016 Fort Moultrie quarter from the Denver Mint. And if you happen to come across one that's clean, sharp, and untouched by time, you might be holding one of the most valuable quarters from this modern series, and who knows? It could already be sitting in your collection, just waiting to be noticed. Stick with us, because the hunt isn't over, and always remember, history isn't just something we read about. Sometimes, it's right there in your pocket, ready to tell its story, one quarter at a time. Up next is a coin that captures the essence of natural beauty and American heritage like few others: the 2018 Cumberland Island quarter, minted at the Denver Mint. This coin is more than just currency. It's a tribute to one of Georgia's most treasured landscapes, offering a glimpse into a unique part of the country's rich tapestry. Cumberland Island is a place where nature's quiet power takes center stage. Off the coast of Georgia, this barrier island stretches with untouched beaches, dense forests, and sprawling salt marshes. It's a sanctuary for wildlife and a refuge for those who appreciate the raw, unspoiled beauty of the natural world. The island's importance goes beyond its scenic views. It holds layers of history, from Native American settlements to European colonization and the era of the Carnegie family, whose estates still echo with stories of the past. The quarter's design reflects this profound connection. On the reverse side, an elegant snowy egret is depicted standing gracefully in the marshland, wings partially unfurled as if ready to take flight. The scene conveys both tranquility and vitality, highlighting the island's diverse ecosystem and the delicate balance of life within it. Surrounding the image, inscriptions identify the location and state: Cumberland Island, Georgia, along with the year 2018 and the phrase, E pluribus unum. On the obverse side, the familiar portrait of George Washington offers a timeless touch, linking the coin to the broader heritage of the United States. Although the Denver Mint produced over 150 million of these quarters, making it a relatively common coin in terms of sheer numbers, that doesn't diminish its appeal. The true value lies in the condition and rarity of specific examples. Coins that have been carefully preserved, exhibiting crisp details and lustrous surfaces, can stand out dramatically from those worn by circulation. Collectors often seek coins in mint condition, unblemished, with sharp details that bring the design to life. For the Cumberland Island quarter, the finer details of the snowy egret's feathers and the texture of the marsh are telling indicators of a coin's grade. Higher graded coins are naturally more desirable and can carry significantly more value, especially as time passes and well-preserved specimens become scarcer. Another factor that draws collectors' attention is the presence of minting errors or unusual characteristics. Sometimes, coins are struck slightly off-center or reveal faint doubling in their inscriptions or images. Such imperfections, while accidental, create unique varieties that can elevate a coin's collectability and worth. What makes this coin especially compelling is how it bridges the modern with the historic, the artistic with the ecological. It's a tangible connection to a special place that few get to experience firsthand, yet now can be carried and appreciated by anyone who holds this small piece of metal. While this quarter is still relatively new to the numismatic scene, it has already begun to attract interest from collectors who recognize its significance and potential. It's not just another quarter to spend, it's a collectible with an underlying value that could grow as more people become aware of its story and quality. If you're looking to start or expand your collection, the 2018 Cumberland Island quarter offers a perfect balance of beauty, history, and investment potential. The key is to focus on condition, seek out coins with exceptional detail, and remain attentive to any unique features that might set a particular piece apart. This quarter, in many ways, exemplifies the spirit of the America the Beautiful series. Each coin in the program pays homage to a site of natural or historical importance, and Cumberland Island's inclusion is a fitting tribute to an island steeped in both. As we bring this video series to a close, it's clear that the 2018 Cumberland Island quarter holds a special place among its peers. It's a coin that tells a rich story, not just through its imagery, but through what it represents: preservation, heritage, and the quiet majesty of the natural world. To anyone holding this coin or considering adding it to their collection, remember that it's not just the metal or the face value that matters. It's the story, the history, and the connection to a place few can visit but many can now carry in their pocket. This quarter closes our exploration of some of the most remarkable coins in recent memory, a fitting finale to a series dedicated to uncovering hidden gems. Its value, monetary and sentimental, reflects the deep respect collectors have for the stories that coins tell. Keep your eyes open, your collections sharp, and your curiosity alive. There's always another story waiting to be told, another coin ready to reveal its secrets. The 2018 Cumberland Island quarter stands as a powerful reminder that sometimes, the most valuable treasures come in small, beautifully crafted packages. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. We love hearing from fellow collectors. Be sure to keep watching for daily updates where we uncover more hidden gems and valuable coins. Your next treasure might be just around the corner. Thanks for being part of this journey. See you next time, and as always, happy collecting and happy hunting.